Hello Mayhem makers, Mindy with Quilting Mayhem on another Mindy's Monday Mayhem Live. It's been a little crazy today. I think I say that every Monday. So it's normal. Today is normal. I thought this week I would talk about kind of what's one of the new latest crazes. I know we've talked about quilt coats, but the other one is adding quilt blocks to clothing. So you can see today I'm modeling this lovely guy. Oh my gosh. I love this new collection. It just makes me so happy. So it has become actually several sweatshirts. For Christmas, a few family members inherited lovely sweatshirts like this because they're super easy to do. So I thought I'd just kind of talk about the basics of it, how easy it is, and just the general idea of how to put one together if it's something you want to do. So keep in mind, it does not have to be a sweatshirt. I just was at like Target and this was their $10 special in like a dozen different colors, so I grabbed several in different colors to make for family members. It can be shirts, jackets, you name it. You essentially can slap a block onto just about anything. So start looking at some, maybe it's a coat you love but it just needs a little spicing up. Throw a quilt block on it. If you have orphan blocks in your sewing room that need to be featured, maybe they're not going to be a quilt but they're just super cute, put it on a shirt, and it can be on the back. It doesn't have to be on the front if you don't want everybody like looking right at you, all that kind of stuff. Possibilities are endless, so keep that in mind when you're kind of going over some of this type of stuff. Or looking at those orphan blocks sitting around in your room and you don't want to just pitch them, all that kind of stuff. We have employees here, I've seen them on the back of like flannel shirts, and they added little fabric accents, hoodies, you name it. We'll attach a quilt block to anything. So the basics of this one, or just one in general if you want to start from scratch, is you're going to start with a block. So we got in this fun fabric, and I grabbed one of our favorite books. As you can tell, it's got lots of tabs. So this is the new Ladies Art Company block tool. So what's lovely about this book is it is dozens and dozens of blocks in multiple sizes. So if you're trying to do a block smaller for maybe like kids clothing, or bigger because you have like a big coat that you want to cover, or a variety, maybe you want smaller blocks on the pockets and you want a block on the back. This book, I love it because there's just so many different varieties and in different sizes, so you have that option to custom make everything to how you do it. And then I just picked this block, cut him out, fussy cut him, and then pieced everything else together. So same with this guy, block's a little different, but same thing. Featured Mr. Owl in the middle, and then just created the block around it. And then what I did, my preference is to do like a stabilizer. So this guy just has that iron-on fusible. This is Shape Flex, one of my absolute favorite stabilizers for quilt blocks, or any embroidery or anything that's going into a quilt, because it's got a lot of just movement to it. It's not that stiff type of stabilizer, because I didn't want this square to like look like a square pasted necessarily. I wanted it to bend and move with the sweatshirt, as you can tell. And this one's been washed, so it survived a wash. It's nice, still holding all its shape, not unraveling or anything from the edges. So this is just one of my favorites. So Shape Flex stabilizer. It's fusible, you buy it by the yard, it's easy. And then all I did is, I don't know if you can tell, so not the best, but fold it over about a 1/4 inch and press it. I use a little starch to try to keep that fold over nice and clean. And then I literally put it on, stitch it down. Now, some of the tips, because trying to stitch it onto a sweatshirt in your machine, sometimes you want to make sure it doesn't shift and all that. I did do flat flower pins, pin it around. I also used my favorite little stencil basting spray that I use for garments, or like a 505 spray. I did a little stick of spray to make sure that the blocks stayed nice and flat and didn't try to shift as I shoved this thing into my machine. I just used my lovely Bernina, the 770, which has that nice bigger throat, took the table off, did the same as I would as a quilt or quilting, upped my stitch length so that I used like a 3.0 top stitch, and then I machine stitched it down. I love you guys, but I'm not taking this off to show you exactly how it was stitched, but that's all I did. I put it in the machine, I did one line, turned everything, laid it all nice and flat, stitched down another line, laid it flat, just kept going around, just making sure that I didn't get a sleeve stuck in there, all those kinds of things. So it's just top stitch down. As you can tell probably from the bottom, you can't. There's a block. Can't tell. It's all invisible. So that's as far as we're going with the undressing today, people. Keeping it PG for you. So that's how easy it is you just pick a block you like, put a stabilizer on it, and just tack it down. Make sure your owl's the right side. There you go. Stitch it down, but it can be on the back. You can do, like I said, smaller blocks, down the sleeve, all that kind of stuff. If you need help, let us know. Reach out. Come see us. We'll gladly walk you through it, especially with whatever you're trying to stitch it onto. Definitely bring that in if you're local. Bring your garment, bring your block. We can kind of help you lay it out and make sure that you're getting it stitched so it doesn't get all puckery or wonky on the clothing. Because I mean, this is my new favorite sweatshirt. I love this guy. So this is my tip for this Monday. I'm trying to keep things fun and trying to keep up with the trends because there's a lot going on and we love them all. So that's how our Monday is going for you guys today. If you are curious, we do have the block tool book in the store. Of course, we do have this fabrics collection. It is a Free Spirit fabric in the store. So come see us, come play. We'll gladly help you pick fabrics and get your first one going. Otherwise, have a lovely Monday. Stay dry out there if you're in the Northwest. Hopefully you're not too flooded like a lot of places. It's been a little scary, or too snowed in. Weather's been a little crazy. Mother Nature's hormonal. So stay safe out there and just keep on stitching.